Hello students. In the last session we have seen the figures of speech. We have seen the first 10 figures of speech and today we'll be seeing the rest of them. I hope the earlier session was clear. We'll begin with the 11th figure of speech today, that is pun. Pun is something that shows a hidden meaning in a sentence, or you can say it tells something which a speaker cannot openly speak up. It has a hidden meaning in it. If we see the second example given to you in this definition, obviously the constitution is against prostitution and Congress is against progress. Here con and pro, they mean something, and when they mean something else, that actually makes the real sense of the sentence. So the speaker wants to convey some message, but when he or she is not able to speak it openly, this thing is conveyed in an indirect way. It is called as pun. The second one is epigram. It is a brief pointed saying. It couples words, that means it matches words but apparently contradict each other. That means contradict का मतलब होता है जो opposite चीज़ें होती है. कुछ वर्ड्स ऐसे साथ में बोले जाते हैं जो एक दूसरे से टोटली अपोजिट है. द लैंग्वेज ऑफ एपिग्राम is remarkable for its brevity. A few examples are given to you. The child is the father of the man. Child cannot be the father of the man. Child is a child. But here child is the father of the man. It's written in figure of speech called as epigram. Fools rush in where angels fear to tread. The art lies in concealing art. मतलब कि this one is the simplest one actually. Art lies in concealing art. Concealing का मतलब होता है छुपाना. So कोई चीज़ छुपाना भी एक आर्ट है. Something that is not good but when it's done properly, perfectly is also an art. Silence is sometimes more eloquent than words. Conspicuous by its absence. These are a few examples of epigram. Epigram is no doubt not used much in our literature, but still just for an understanding, epigram is given to you. Antithesis. In antithesis, a striking opposition or contrast of words is made in the same sentence in order to secure emphasis. For example, to err is human and to forgive is divine. Err का मतलब होता है error, mistakes. So to make mistakes is human behavior or nature, and to forgive is divine's nature. Divine here resembles God. So in any sentence when two contrasting words, that is two opposite words, are used giving two different meanings in a same sentence, that is antithesis. Give every man thy ear but few thy voice. That means सुनेंगे सबकी पर हम करेंगे अपने मन की, या you can say give every man thy. Thy means your ear but few your voice. Means you should not give advice to each one and everyone. Listen to everyone but should not give advice to each one and everyone. Again, two opposite things used here. The next one is oxymoron. It is a figure of speech which combines two seemingly contradictory or incongruous words for sharp emphasis or effect. Example से ये better clear होगा. Darkness visible. How is darkness visible? जब अंधेरा होता है तो हमें कुछ नहीं दिखता है. But here it is given darkness visible. मतलब कि अंधेरा तो दिखता है. We can see the darkness. Make haste slowly. That means जल्दी करो पर धीरे धीरे. Again over here दो contradictory words यूज़ किए जा रहे हैं, पर ये contradictory words यूज़ क्यों किए जा रहे हैं? चीज़ों का importance reflect करने के लिए. The next one is litotes. It is the opposite of hyperbole. If you remember in the last session when I said hyperbole is something that when we exaggerate a particular note and we speak, that becomes hyperbole. But here it is completely opposite, that is litotes. Here an affirmative is conveyed by negation of the opposite. Example से अच्छे से समझते हैं. I am not a little. He is not a bad sort. मतलब कि यहाँ पे हम डायरेक्टली अच्छी बात नहीं कर रहे, पर हम नेगेशन को यूज़ करके कोई अच्छी बात को कन्वे करने की ट्राई कर रहे हैं. Interrogation. This one, as you know, is a very commonly used figure of speech. This is a rhetorical mode of affirming or denying something more strongly than could be done in ordinary language. For example, who is here so base that would be a bondman? Or you can say who is here so rude that would not be a Roman? or who is here so vile that will not love his country. बेसिकली ये सारी चीज़ें जो है वो शेक्सपियर की लिखी हुई है, पर यहाँ पे अगर कॉमन चीज़ आप नोट करो तो दैट इज़ अ क्वेश्चन इज आस्क्ड, बट नॉट इन अ सेंस ऑफ आस्किंग और गेटिंग एन आंसर. अ क्वेश्चन इज आस्क्ड, it is a general questioning, that is interrogation. The same way exclamation, when someone expresses one's feelings, it is exclamation. Climax, it is an arrangement of a series of ideas in the order of increasing importance. जैसे कि हम धीरे धीरे किसी चीज़ की importance बढ़ाते जाते हैं तो that is climax. For example, what a piece of work, man, how noble in reason, how infinite in faculties, in action, how like an angel. एक के बाद एक, एक के बाद एक, एक के बाद एक अच्छी बातें बहुत सारी बताई गई है. सो हियर इट इज़ एन अरेंजमेंट, एक सीरीज़ बनाई जाती है, सीक्वेंस में कुछ चीज़ें बताई जाती है जिससे कि इम्पोर्टेंस बढ़ता हुआ दिखता है किसी भी पर्टिकुलर चीज़ का. दैट इज़ क्लाइमैक्स. देन व्हेन वी टॉक अबाउट एंटी क्लाइमैक्स, इट इज़ द अपोजिट ऑफ क्लाइमैक्स, और यू कैन से इट सिग्निफाइज अ ludicrous decent form, द हायर टू द लोअर. मतलब कि यहाँ पे अपोजिट हो रहा है. जैसे हमने क्लाइमैक्स में देखा कि एक के बाद एक के बाद एक अच्छी बातें बताई जाती है, इंक्रीज होती है. यहाँ पे अपोजिट है, ये कम होता है. अ मैन सो वेरियस दैट ही सीम टू बी नॉट वन बट ऑल मैनकाइंड्स एपिटोम, हु इज़ इन द कोर्स ऑफ वन रिवॉल्विंग मून वॉज लॉयर, स्टेट्समैन, फिडलर एंड बफून. यहाँ पे सारी चीज़ें बता दी बट ये सारी उसके अगेंस्ट में बता दी है. देन इज एलिट्रेशन. This one is very simple and commonly used again. Alliteration is the repetition of the same letter or syllable. If you are unable to understand what syllables are basically the alphabets used in a sentence, but let's skip the syllable part. The repetition of the same letter at the beginning of two or more words is called as alliteration. For example, by apt alliterations, artful a. Here again and again the word a is used. Apt, alliteration, artful, a and a is used again and again. In the next example, glittering through the gloomy. Glittering and gloomy, it begins with G, the sound, and the word G is used again and again. The furrow follows, F and F. So when such words are used or repeated, it is alliteration. Onomatopoeia, when the sound of a human being is given to non-human being or non-living element, that is onomatopoeia. The formation of word whose sound is made to suggest or echo the sense as in cuckoo, bang, growl, hiss, all these are examples. In the last session also I said, for example, the clouds roar. The clouds are not human beings, they are not lions actually to roar, but when we say the clouds roar, that means the clouds are making noise. This is onomatopoeia. Students, please do go through these figures of speech once again, and we'll be meeting soon in the next session. Thank you.